What's up, YouTube? This is my latest project right here. I'm gonna call this project Broken Halo or Sinister Kid, and anybody who gets a reference to those songs will really impress me. So, any of you who have been subscribing to me know that I built that little, half motorcycle, half bicycle thing. Well, Craigslist gave me the option to trade up, and this guy definitely needs some work. But it's 600 cc's, and when it runs properly, emphasis on when, it does 140 miles an hour. I was really aiming for something not as powerful as this, but for a straight trade, I think I got the better half of the deal right here. The catch was, it did not come with a key. Obviously, I am a locksmith. I picked that ignition in a minute there. As you can see, it's been dropped. It's been dropped at least twice, just from the looks of it here. We're missing some fairings on the back. And, here we get like a bent-in light, broken. It turns over. It was running approximately 2 weeks ago. I truly do believe that. But she's been sitting, and I'm sure those carbs are gummed up at this point, or the battery just doesn't have enough oomph to turn it over. Other than that, not horrible. Somebody did a stupid paint job on it. That was from like the last time it got dropped. No offense to the guy that sold it to me, but I think what happened was he just didn't want anything to do with it after he fell on this thing. And I don't blame him. You know, I've known people that were on motorcycles and they took a spill and they just did not want to get back on a motorcycle again. So just looking it over here, she turns on, she turns over, but I had it running yesterday, but I think the battery is really the weak link why it's not firing up right now. The carb is dirty as hell. I am hoping that, if I run it for a little while, just idling, that it's going to clean the carb out. Because if you guys remember, that's what happened the last project there, is that I just ran it for a while. The carb was dirty, but it cleaned out. This is a 4-barrel carb, and it's a lot of work to get that out of there, so I'm hoping that's not the case. A little bit of oil tainting here. Somebody did just a horrible paint job. You guys can actually see the high grit marks right here. But we're going to fix that. We're going to work on that one. Just some automotive paint and some good wax is going to fix that up. Both the headlights do work. There's some weird tinting in the one on the left. Just looking at this right here, this is where the most recent spill happened. Obviously, that's in bad shape right there. But you look at it, and what I'm thinking is just simply surgically slicing that down, maybe following this curve, and then doing something like down and to the left in a controlled swing out, cut, something like that, and then just mirroring it on this side. Because fairings for this guy are something like $200. Either that or just going Street Fighter style. But the problem with Street Fighter style is I'd have to figure out a new way to attach these guys, and I'm not really gonna go crazy with that. Because at 90 miles an hour, these things are rattling around like crazy. Not that there's not a way to do it properly. Missing some fairings on the back here. Turn signals are working. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit rusty, but the shocks are good. Obviously, the first thing I looked at is the forks. I've eyeballed them for as long as I possibly could, and I've decided that they're straight. And maybe I'll get a surprise later on, but they appear to be straight to me. And once again, I'm waiting to be surprised. Tread's not fantastic. My camera really does a horrible angle on that. But, for what I got this thing for, I'm not going to complain. So my project, my goal is within the week to have it actually starting up and running. First thing I'm going to do is charge up the battery inside here. Oh yeah, these guys are really tired. I actually have some vinyl, some vinyl from another project that I might toss that on and just recover that. Why not? So step one is to see if I can put some more volts into that battery in the meantime, and see if we can get her to turn over. And all the nuts and bolts, I don't know what it is, but all the nuts and bolts are loose on this thing, and I'm just going to go through it while I clean it and just obviously tighten everything up. Not to the point where it's falling apart, but to the point where it's it's concerning. I wouldn't do freeway speed with anything like this before I checked everything out. This is where I'm stupid. I have no idea what this is. tell me this is not a nitrous can here. I have no idea what the heck this is. It's got like a little clicker here. Dial it up, dial it down. Who knows? Maybe somebody knows what that is. That can't be nitrous. It is heading into the engine, but whatever. A little bit rough. I know the tach is not running. You guys can't see any of that. The tach is not running. I'm hoping that's just a resistor. I've had bikes before where I just listened to it and it, you know, gave me a good readout of what's going on. A lot of little scuffing, little scrapes. Obviously, see if I can polish that down, reprime or repaint. See if I could sort this out. The beauty of this is just 100% aluminum here, so I, you know, just shave it down. A lot of little rough marks when this guy dropped it. And one thing was interesting is when I did have it running yesterday, I noticed that the RPMs just slowly climbed up. So I'm thinking that there might be a butterfly valve on the carburetor that's stuck in the open position, as in a return spring is not doing its job. And I think that's how he took a spill on this, is just, you know, playing Sherlock Holmes here. I think the throttle stuck on him, and he didn't figure out how to get out of gear. And there's one thing I will say, and I'm just come out and say this is more motorcycle than I've ever owned in my life right here. 600 cc's, 140 mile an hour from the factory. I don't think I've ever driven anything like this to my recollection. All my bikes have been, you know, 250 cc's and under, and I literally mean that. So this is a bike that just straight out intimidates me. At the same time, I'm not afraid, I'm cautious, and I think that's a good thing. And I'm not going to try and hot dog this or anything crazy. That's about it for now, YouTube. Thanks for all the people who follow me. I think I'm up to, like, I don't know, 10 or 12 or something.